Hey guys, I'm Ouroboros. Let's play Persona 3 Reload. It is May 24th, and we've got a message from Kenji. Hey, are you free? We are free. Since we've got the day off, hit me up sometime if you want to go somewhere. I'll be free till the afternoon. We are going to accept Kenji's invite. We are not going to do it right now because it's Sunday. It's Sunday. We've got to do our Sunday rituals. So I'm going to go around grabbing our SP recovery items from the different vending machines, and then we were also going to head up the home shopping channel today. I know when I did these in Royal, when I got the stuff out of the vending machines, I would just cut to me buying the stuff. But since there's really not too many of these, I don't feel the need to do that. I guess I can talk to the girls, since we always talk to her. My classes are so boring, my teacher's okay, but I'm so jealous of the classroom next door. I always hear laughter coming from it. Yeah, sometimes that's how it goes. But at the same time, if you always hear laughter, maybe you're not learning quite as much. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what I'm talking about, but we're gonna head over to the strip mall and hit up this third vending machine. But like I said, when I did this at Royal, it felt like it took a lot longer to get all the different vending machines, and this one there's only 3. I think we unlock one more later down the line. Maybe? But for now, it's just 3. And we're gonna head back in, and you know what time it is. You all look forward to this on Sundays. It's Tanaka. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Home Shopping Show, Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. I'm your host, Tanaka, with a live presentation of my amazing commodities. We'll show you great products at unbeatable prices, so don't touch that dial because you won't want to miss these. Today, we're introducing the Beginner's Home Cooking Set. Have you been dreaming about learning to cook but don't know where to start? Well, look no further. First up, we have the all-purpose apron. Put this on and you'll turn into a first-class chef. Oh my goodness, it's wonderful. But wait, there's more. We'll throw in this Umugi water too. Guess how many? 2. All this for just 59.80 yen. This is a special limited product available today only. You heard that right? Today only. We are actually gonna buy it this time. I feel like it's been a while since we bought something from the show. And next time we'll be introducing a healthy lifestyle set. Don't miss it. That's all for today. We're all sold out. Sorry, folks. We'll see you next Sunday, same time, same channel. And the home shopping program is now over. And with nobody in C's down here, I wonder if we can go upstairs. Maybe anybody's in their room. That's a vacant room. Junpei's not here. This is our room. Akihiko? Okay, well, anyway. We've got messages from a lot of different people. We're not gonna go see either of these people. We're gonna go hang out with Kenji today. I believe I have a magician? Yeah. I don't know if I need this magician, but it's good to have anyway. So let's go see what he has to talk about. Are we gonna go to the ramen shop again? Of course. Hey, sorry to ask you to hang out all of a sudden. The rest of my family's out today. Kinda didn't want to eat all by my lonesome, you know? That's when I remembered you eating ramen like it was your favorite thing ever. Great minds, yo. I don't trust guys that don't enjoy their food. I mean, it's one thing if the food's really nasty. Then there's those guys that just pretend it's good even if they don't like it. Can't trust them either. By the way, are you picky about your food? This is apparently the correct answer. I'm pretty picky? Me too. I just can't stomach probably like half the food in the world. I don't even consider them edible. Oh, but if a gorgeous girl was the one cooking, I might be able to. That's different, you know? The things we do for love. I used to be so. Well, now I know what your taste in food is. Next up, what type of girl are you into? You into the cute type or the sexy model type? Long hair or short? Yes. After his interrogation, we head back to the dorm. It always goes back to that with him. I guess we'll see more of that later. But we are back at the dorm. Oh, hey, welcome back. And we have a long one scheduled for today. I'm gonna head over to Club Escapade first. And if you remember, there is a fortune teller in here, and we do need to talk to her for one of the Elizabeth requests. We're different. Our future is filled with both blinding light and stagnant shadow. I can see but a small portion. What lies beyond that is shrouded in mystery. What a peculiar fate you carry. Now, young man, bearer of light and shadow, if you wish to know more about the near future, come and talk to me. I will share my limited visions with you. Yes, I thought I'd talked to this person before, but I guess not. We can have fortune readings. They only last for a day, but they can provide us with a new fortune befitting the unusual light that you hold within. Oh, that's just, we unlocked one. We're going to get a... oh, we only have one. Okay, well. This is a rarity fortune and increases the chances of encountering rare enemies in Tartarus. Those are the little golden hands. I think that's the only one for the rarity fortune. I don't know why any others would pop up with that. But it's 3,000 yen, so we are getting more and more broke as we go. If you go to the Tower of Shadow tonight, you are destined to face an adversity clad in gold. Yeah, so this is the hands. I would recommend just being careful with this. Obviously, we need to do it once for Elizabeth, but if you go a little too ham, you are going to trivialize some of the fights in this game, so don't be too aggressive with it. But we do have a new party member now. We've got Akihiko. To really get my feel for battle back, a trip or two to Tartarus won't cut it. I feel like I'm gonna want to go every day. Well, if you're going tonight, give me a shout. I'm raring to go. Our exam results come out tomorrow, huh? I don't think I flunked or anything, but couldn't really study like I usually do because of Tartarus and everything. Huh. Probably shouldn't make excuses. I'll just have to plan better for the next ones. That's okay, we are going to Tartarus. Let's head there now. And yes, we do get to bring Akihiko with us tonight, so that means we finally have a full party of 4, which is going to make things a lot easier for us.
All right, it's finally time. I know we've put a lot on you guys, but that's over now.
Yeah, we're counting on you, Akihiko.
Don't worry, I've been preparing for this day. You won't be disappointed. I'll follow whatever orders you give. You're the leader here. I'll make up for all that time I lost before you know it. Plus, I've got to show my stuff as one of the veteran members. Just make sure to put me in the advanced team.
Alright, you heard him. But... and I love this effect, because you can... oh, shit. I was on... oops. High Priestess card, it was glowing. That's the card we got from the previous full moon boss, which I guess was 2 weeks ago, because it's a new moon right now. Whenever you defeat one of the Arcana-related bosses, you do get that major Arcana, and it gets added to shuffle time, so we get more and more and more as we go. You can also see the tarot card is even, it has that cool like holographic, almost like a 3D effect as well, when it's in Makoto's hand here. Just a nice little addition. The High Priestess gives you extra all-out attack damage if you decide to pull it during shuffle time.
I've been waiting for you.
Oh, Elizabeth has something she wants to talk to us about, though.
Marvelous.
I must congratulate you on your recent victory. Your power continues to grow, it seems. On the topic of such power, I must ask, are you familiar with the Major Arcana? Yes, I've done a lot of research into this for my main channel. I am.
Yes.
To utilize metaphor? The Major Arcana are the parent plants which will help propagate your ever-growing garden of abilities. That's one way to put it. After defeating particularly strong shadows, these Major Arcana will appear to you as cards. It would be in your best interest to collect these cards as you find them. Okay, I just explained that. It'll be a useful resource going forward. And we do have Akihiko in our party. And I guess without further ado... oh, do you remember what I said about Tartarus being divided into different areas? Well, through Penthesileia's power, I picked up on an unusual signal just past the 20th floor. Something may have shifted, so I'd like you to head there and check it out immediately. We're counting on you. So we can, in fact, just warp there. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but if you are in Tartarus and you go up...
All right.
we can start... we can use the teleport... oh. We can start from the beginning. Maybe I was wrong. I could have sworn you could have gone back to your last visited floor. Maybe it's just because we just came back or something. We'll experiment around with that later. It's at least like that in the previous versions of P3, but if you remember, we had a border floor at floor 22, and now...
Is this?
Alright, we're here. As I thought, this floor is not sensing any enemies. Could you just take a look around, Yuki? There's no knowing what might happen, so be careful, alright? Yes, ma'am, we can do that.
Wait.
What are these tremors? Watch out! And all the gears and stuff move, and we have a new path forward. Who would have thought? Wow, game design. Is it over? What was that? It's one thing to just know Tartarus changes daily, but to actually see it transform before our very own eyes? Regardless, the path is opened. Let's try exploring further beyond that. As for our next goal, you can only assume there will be a similar obstruction up ahead. Let's aim for that. I'm counting on you. That was quite the contraption. What was its purpose? Nah, no point in dwelling on it. All I need to do is keep moving forward. Alright, up we go! Something feels different about the floor up ahead. I sense something more potent, like a tangible force of will. Stay alert. And we are now... Oh, it's the hand. The fortune teller mentioned? Yeah, okay. That's the enemy. We are now in a new block of Tartarus. We are in Aqua. I don't know what it's called. Okay. I am zoomed in the right amount. It feels zoomed in a little bit more than normal. Granted, I've been playing a lot of Xenoblade X, and I like to keep the camera zoomed out. But this is the Golden Hand, and
That's a rare one.
we've got Akihiko. I really hope it's weak to electric, or else this is gonna look really stupid.
All right, it's my turn. Let's go! Holy
Please be weak. Damn it. I've had moments like that, so whenever you first summon your persona, it doesn't matter who's summoning it. Like, I guess with Makoto it's different because that's a cutscene and everything. But like with the other party members, it goes through that little like pep talk or whatever. And I've had times where it does that and then the person just misses and it's the most anticlimactic shit ever. And I shouldn't have said anything. Oh god. This is concerning. So, I guess, with Polydeuces, this Akihiko's persona, I can go ahead and start on the bio list. So,
This may be a good test of your skill.
Polydeuces from Greek mythology, and he's also known as Pollux, and is the brother of Castor. So if you heard
Pull the trigger.
the myth, if that's what you want to call it, the myth of Castor and Pollux, that's where he comes from. So, they're twin brothers, but they're like half twins, I guess. So
This may be a good test of your
how do I explain this? So Castor had a mortal dad, and Pollux, or I guess Polydeuces, had his dad was Zeus. Castor died, and Polydeuces asked Zeus to keep them together, like share the immortality, and Zeus turned them into the Gemini constellation so that they could stay together. In-game, I love Akihiko. He is one of my favorite characters to use for a number of reasons. He has a mix of electric and physical attacks, and he is a great example of pretty much a perfect mixed attacker, where he doesn't really favor one over the other. Like, you've got Junpei, who, yeah, he uses physical and he uses fire skills, but realistically, you're going to be using physical attacks with him. Akihiko is split right down the middle. In addition, he also gets a lot of really good support skills. He gets a lot of debuffing, like I'm pretty sure he gets Tarunda and Matarunda, if I'm not mistaken. And then he also gets healing skills. I know he gets Diorama at some point, which he's just a great all-arounder. Honestly, kind of reminds me a little bit of Persona 5 Makoto, not Persona 3 Makoto. Just in that there's so much utility in there that you can kind of find a spot for him on any team. So, like I said, one of my personal favorites in this game for that reason, and I think you can at least fit him in somewhere in basically every party comp.
honestly.
But Mitsuru says, this is some rugged terrain. Keep your eyes peeled for any blind spots. Yes, but unlike what's-her-face, Makoto Nijima. He does not use nuke attacks, instead goes for electric. Plus, we've got the different types of physical skills in this game. He tends to focus on strike skills. I don't think he gets any more... Like, I don't think he gets slash or pierce skills. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And I need to... do I have any, like, light or dark skills? Do I really not have any? This is kind of awkward. I don't really know what to do against this guy. Are you weak to fire? No. Unless I miss. God damn it. If I can't get a crit or something, I may just run so I stop wasting my SP here. These hands are kind of annoying because they have such high agility, and this one looks like it's probably weak to light or dark, and I don't have that right now. So I guess I just gotta fish for crits. I mean, fishing for crits with physical skills is not exactly the end of the world. But anyway, next persona. This is one that I have and I used in the previous Full Moon boss. This is Valkyrie. Valkyrie was really good for that priestess fight. Kind of falls off in this story arc, but in hindsight, I probably should have done this bio in the previous Tartarus trip, but it is what it is. You guys probably know what, or I guess who Valkyrie is. Valkyrie is from Norse mythology, and I'm going to go ahead and get this Twilight Fragment box. It's from Norse mythology and will basically carry fallen soldiers into Valhalla when they fall in combat. Of course, Wagner immortalized them in his famous operas as well. That was kind of his thing. So you probably heard of Riley Valkyries. Oh, Mazio here? Probably not. In-game, you get good ice and physical skills. You also get Auto Sukukaja at level 12, which is helpful. But yeah, kind of like I said, it does kind of fall off in this story arc, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. Next persona is Inugami. So Inugami's name translates literally to dog god. This is a canine yokai who seek to avenge or protect their owner. And they can sometimes be summoned as well. While they are able to be independent and exist on their own, they're extremely loyal, which I guess kind of comes from the whole dog part of it. In-game, you've got a really high luck stat, which kind of goes hand in hand with it being more of a status persona. You've got Foul Breath and Poison Boost, which is good for inflicting poison. Poison is... it's okay. It's really useful in certain Tartarus boss fights. So, the Floor Guardians? I can't... what are they called? The mini-bosses here. I forgot what they're called. But I would say in, like, general gameplay, Poison is not the best, just because in these, like, normal shadow fights, you tend to roll through them in 1, maybe 2 turns, so you don't want to be spending time on Poison. But, like I said, some of the boss fights in Tartarus, it is really helpful, because especially later on, there are some fights where you're fighting an enemy that has, like, a lot of health, and Poison, I believe it takes off a percentage each turn. And fire, maybe? I doubt you're weak to fire. But anyway, yeah, that's Inugami. Oh, I can kind of take a break from these, and this gets an Agi down. That's awkward. What are you weak to? Punch? I always call this punch. I think it's... I know it's called strike, like I get that, but I always called it... I called it slash punch and pierce, because I'm just stupid like that. Oh, what else could I talk about? Other than obviously, obviously the bios and everything that's going on. I do have Jack Frost already. I will say, be careful. I kind of mentioned this earlier with the hands. Be careful to not overgrind. It can kind of be easy to do that here. You don't want to. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. I would not blame you. If you're somebody who likes to, like, really, I don't want to say like power level, but level up a lot and then kind of feel the effects of that, right? Feel rewarded for what you've done. But I'm somebody who likes to keep at least a little bit of challenge in the fights. With RPGs, especially these turn-based ones,
Well, either way, we're not gonna lose.
higher numbers are nice, but if your numbers are just bigger than everything else,
Here's your chance to attack.
it can make it a little dull. But it is what it is. If that's the way you want to play your game, that's the way you want to play your game. Do I really not have any light or dark skills in my team? I have this. Why? You weak to this? Oh, sure. I'm so dumb. Oh, God. It's fine. Oh, what else is... I feel like not much has happened, like, on the channel recently. I mean, I had fun doing, like, 5 days worth of episodes in the span of, like, 2 minutes for exams. That was fun. I guess if I really wanted to, I could not... So whenever I like edit the videos, I always do like a second of just like black of nothing on the screen at the end, because I feel like it would just be awkward to have the last frame be something that, like, be an in-game frame, as opposed to just like the screen cutting to black and that's the end of the video. I don't know. That's how I like it. If you don't like it that way, that's fine. That's just what I do here. But I guess I could do that to like further optimize my speed runs of the exams. But it is what it is. We are going to take down this last enemy, and I think I'm going to go ahead and go back to the bios just to, I don't know, prompt myself a little bit more about what I want to talk about. Next one is unicorn. So it's a unicorn. So unicorns appear in a lot of different like religions and folklores and mythologies and all that stuff. They're said to have healing properties most of the time, and its horn was especially valuable, which is why people hunted narwhals way back when and sold them as unicorn horns. In-game, you've got light skills. You get Koha and Hama, so you've got damaging and you've got insta-kill skills, so take your pick. You also get Auto Rakukaja at, what is this, level 15. I would say Auto Rakukaja is probably the worst of the auto skills. That's not to say that it's bad, it's definitely not. However, I personally prefer Tarukaja and Sukukaja. They just feel like better options. So that's Unicorn. Next one. Oh, you also have 2 weaknesses. Even though you have 2 blocks, I have made my opinions abundantly clear that I do not like personas that have 2 weaknesses just because you have to watch out for more stuff. It is what it is. Next one, actually, this time, is Slime. This is just like your typical RPG slime, but in Persona. That's all it is. There's like no basis, no mythological foundation for slime. It's just the normal like level 1 enemies that you see right after you leave your hometown. Just in this game. But in Reload, as I do get that High Priestess Major Arcana card, in Reload you do have high endurance and decent strength, and you do have good resistances, but you don't really have a lot of good skills with it, so you kind of have to fuse into it to get anything worthwhile. It doesn't really get any physical skills to take advantage of that high stat. So I wouldn't really recommend Slime unless you've got something specific in mind, you know? So that's my recommendation. Next one is Nigi Mitama. Be careful if you say this, you don't want to get canceled on YouTube. Nigi Mitama. This is the opposite of Aramitama, which I don't remember if we've seen yet. I think we have. It is the calm and functional state of your soul, and it only appears after an Aramitama is calmed. In Reload, you've got good resistances. You also get Recarm here, which is... if you didn't know, it is basically a revival skill. So, like, you revive an enemy or an ally to 50% HP. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first persona that we've seen who gets Recarm. I don't like Recarm very much because you get a lot of healing items, and why would you waste a skill slot on that when you could just use an item? I guess early game, it's different because you are more limited in not only your money, but also your items. So you probably aren't going to be using that as much. Like, you're probably, you would be more likely to use that as opposed to like a revival beat or something. But that's just my, and I guess early on, like, you've got, like, you're not really trying to squeeze in as many skills as you possibly can on one persona. But it is what it is. It gets a lot of good healing skills, obviously, if you have, if you get Recarm, it's kind of a support persona. It's solid, but yeah, there are better options, and I should probably heal at some point here. Sometimes when I'm playing this game, my brain is trying to focus on too many things at one time, and it's also awkward because I do have to turn my head to look at my notes when I play this game, and it can make things awkward where I'm looking back and forth and also trying to read and keep track of numbers. I've mentioned this a million times. I don't know why I feel the need to say it over and over and over again, but it is what it is. Done and dusted.
Let's do the same thing for our next.
But hopefully these Tartarus trips aren't too dull for all you guys. I try to keep them as interesting as I can. And I do have some questions listed. If you are not in the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description. There I have a questions tab where I've decided that I'm going to start taking questions from the community. If you would like, if you would like to ask me a question, I will answer them in these Tartarus trips, just because I feel like it gives me something to do, other than just doing bios. I don't know, just spice things up a little bit, you know? I think I'm gonna do the questions after I get rid of but once I get done with all of the bios, just because I have them listed underneath the bios, and I don't want to be scrolling up and down and lose my spot and forget one for whatever reason. I just passed to the wrong person. I'm so stupid. This is what I mean. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Okay, let's. What are you guys weak to? I am dumb. It's fine. Oh, I guess I do have some, personal excitement, news, whatever you call it. I got a Switch 2 pre-order. I'm super excited. I got an email on like May 15th, like middle of May, that I got a pre-order. I'm super excited. I got it directly from Nintendo. So I don't know if it's gonna come on launch day, but this is the first console I'm getting on launch, which is exciting in a nerdy, dweeby, fun way. Like, I got my Switch a few months after release. I'm just a big Nintendo fan. I will not lie about that, and I know they are not everybody's cup of tea, and I will not defend some of their business decisions, but they know how to make games. They just do. If there's a way to glean information on them preemptively, okay, we'll be fine. We will be fine. Yeah, like Nintendo, some of their business decisions are not the best, but I just really like their games. And if you don't like them, I think that's totally fine. why am I going through this? I can just save here. Totally understand if you are not that type of person, but I am. I always have been. Like, I guess part of it is I grew up playing on Nintendo systems. Like, I had a Game Boy Color, I had an SP, I had a DS, I had a Wii. So it's just kind of who I am at this point. But we're on our first Gatekeeper of the day. We've got 3 birds. I almost said 4 birds. I can't count. Oh, Lord. Roll the dice, please. Get one of them. No, why would I? So part of this, I feel like with the Gatekeepers is like you do the fight once to just try to get some information, and then the next fight you kind of die on purpose, and then the next fight you come back and you know what the hell you're doing. That's kind of what I thought about it. There have definitely been tons of times where I've wasted so much SP, and then I come in later and just, I probably should have passed. I'm assuming this guy's weak to a lovely light, because it looks like the other light weak birds. Oh, good. What else have I had? I've been enjoying I play too many games at once, guys. Like, obviously, I've been playing this for the series, and then I mentioned that I've been playing Xenoblade X a little bit. I'm still not as far as I should be. I'm really, really, really early into the game, but I love the Xenoblade series, and I've never played X, so I'm excited for that. And I'm trying to think and play the game at the same time. Augie, maybe? But it's... Fuck! Anyway, but if you have not played Monster Hunter, I would recommend Wild. It's a lot of fun. It has a lot of fun new... I need to heal. New mechanics. And they've also got... challenge quests. They're basically time attacks for how fast you can hunt a monster. And it has been a lot of fun doing those. One of them, the first one, you had to use certain weapons, like it locked you out. I'm guessing this thing is weak to ice. I'm gonna gamble on that. Because it absorbs fire. Yes, let's go. Okay. But the second one that just released, Arc Tempered Ray Dow, has been so much fun. It's so much harder than the rest of monsters, but would recommend. It's a series that's kind of tricky to get into. Like you do. Please don't kill Junpei. Not Junpei. Akihiko. Have mercy. I need to heal. Who's next? Okay, Junpei's next. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. But yeah, Monster Hunter series. No. Why? Why are you like this? Get the crit, please. Okay, that's doable. I need to heal. Me? Yeah, it was a series that I tried to get into early on, like when I was younger. I tried playing Tri on Wii, and I was young at the time and couldn't really get a feel for the mechanics, if you know what I mean. And then I picked up World when it came to Xbox One. I think that was around 2018, somewhere around there. I got it and just loved it to death. I've played that. I've played Generations Ultimate. I've played Rise, and now I'm playing Wild. So would recommend. Would definitely recommend. I personally like playing solo more than anything. I don't have friends to play with. I've tried finding friends to play with as much as I could, and none of my friends really like the series. So I'm all... Oh shit, Makoto has no HP. Please don't. Please, 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 please. Shh. Why? I wasn't even struggling with the fight. I was too busy talking about other games. Okay. I'm dumb. There's just no other word around it. Alright, well, since this is basically everything that we've seen already, I guess I can just go ahead and do other bios. Next up on my list is Barith. This is the 28th demon in the Ars Gotia. I don't know if I brought this up yet. I think I have. Ars Gotia is like an encyclopedia of demons, basically. He's a Duke of Hell who burns people with bad manners, if that makes sense. He's derived from Baal Barith, which is the Canaan god before becoming this Christian demon. So a little bit of like mythological lineage there, if that makes sense. Stat-wise, you've got good strength and physical skills. There's not really much else going on here. Like, I don't know, it's not... okay. Like, not really much else going on here. It's good, but it's not as good as the next Persona in terms of physical skills, at least in my opinion, as this next one. This is Tamlin. Tamlin is a fairy from Scottish folklore who was once a human who the Fairy King trapped. He fell in love with a young woman named Jeanette, and she managed to free him from his imprisonment. In-game here, you have good mixed physical and electric attacker. You've got Fatal End, which is medium physical damage with a low chance of fear. You get Zio and Mazio, which are good options. especially right now. Any type of multi-target damage right now is going to be helpful. And you also get good resistances. So that's Tamlin. Next up is Xochotl, who I personally like the design of this a lot. This is a guardian deity who stands guard at the south of Buddha's realm. His name means lengthening good deeds among mortals, which is just a mouthful. Usually seen with a sword or some type of pole arm as well. In-game, you get Auto Tarukaja at level 15, which is fantastic. You get crit rate boost, which is also good. You've got high strength. You've got Assault Dive, which is medium strike damage to one foe. You get Swift Strike, which is weak strike damage to all foes 1 to 2 times, which is also good. So just really a good pick, especially for right now. Obviously, anytime I say a Persona is a good pick, it's going to fall off at some point unless you put in way too much effort to keep it relevant. And I would say also the bad picks, you can kind of brute force them into being good. Like, it's never going to be just horrible. Please don't kill anyone. Okay, thank God. So, that is Xochotl. And that is that boss fight, which took infinitely less time now that I knew what I was doing. I should really just, like, keep notes of what these bosses are weak to, but you know what? We wouldn't have funny moments like that if I knew what I was doing. I don't know about you guys, but having Senpai with us is real reassuring for these big fights. Yeah, he definitely knows the ins and outs of battle. You're a huge help here, Senpai.
That's true.
You know I got your backs. I've got lost time to make up for anyway. Pleased to see you're back in fine fettle, Akihiko, but keep in mind the situation's different now. We can't afford to lose you for an extended period again. No worries there. I've been stuck on the sidelines for long enough. I'm ready to get back out there.
Let's do this.
Alright, warm-up's over. Let's pick up the pace. Well, that was the warm-up? I died on the warm-up. That's not a good sign. But like with the rest of the gatekeepers, we've got a normal chest, and we've got a Twilight Fragment chest. I always like picking these up. You don't have to get the ones that are kind of scattered throughout Tartarus, but I would always recommend grabbing the ones after the gatekeepers, just because they do tend to have better items. But not always. That one was just a skill card. I think it was Miragi? I wasn't really worried about that. Oh, yes, status ailments. If you inflict distress, administer attack, or confuse, to render them passive. You'll want to gauge the situation and pick your tactics accordingly. Yeah, okay. Awesome. I don't know why it's telling us what status ailments are now, after we've kind of had to encounter them for a bit, but here we are. Almost missed that. How many more bios do I have? Okay, I have a decent amount left. I can just Mazio this. But yeah, it is... For me, it is May 18th, and it is finally getting to the point where it's getting closer and closer to summer, and I don't like that. I don't like the summer. I don't like the heat. The heat does not like me. It's too hot. It's hot and humid. I don't like it. My favorite season is fall, and I like the pretty colors. But it's also just nicer weather. I'm too pale. My whole family's pale. I did not get good outdoor genes. I got the pale genes, but I'm not the palest one in my family. Shout out to my sister, because she's the pale one. I think I'm good to just Zeo with Akihiko. So if you do ever run out of SP, you can always just use one of the clocks down at the entrance. I don't think I'd use it. I guess I could show it off here during this trip, because as we go through, it will get easier and easier and easier to conserve SP. And I think... Ooh, let's go. I think this is probably the last one that's gonna be tricky in terms of SP conservation, because we've got some game mechanics coming up soon-ish that will make things easier. I don't know if it's the next trip that we're doing, but there's an unusual enemy signal. Say alert. Okay. Oh, I think I know what this is. We just gotta find it. I think this is the glowy dudes. That's not the glowy dude. I've also had, okay, I will go ahead and mention this. I have had somebody ask if I can, like, label what happens each day in the thumbnails, and I understand wanting that. Like, I understand why, because you want to know what happens, and I promise I'm not doing this just to get you to click on the videos, but for me, the purpose of this series is to kind of highlight all of the little things that makes Persona so interesting. Obviously, I'm saying this 40 minutes into a video, so maybe like 10 people are going to hear this, but the reason I love this series is all the small things. It's not, you know, it's not, especially 3, it's not the big overarching story. It's the small interactions with your social links, or talking to random NPCs, or all the little random Elizabeth requests that have you running all over town. And if I were to label things, I feel like it takes away from that. And again, I promise this is not just me being a greedy YouTuber, but we've got the glowy dude. These are basically just strong enemies, and it's not a run-of-the-mill shadow. It's just a strong shadow. It's just a strong fight. I don't even know if I want to fight this right now. I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna run past. You don't have to fight shadows. Actually, I guess technically you don't even have to be doing Tartarus stuff. Like, there's nothing forcing you to go here, which is definitely interesting. There's got to be somebody who's done, like, a no Tartarus run, right? I mean, the game forces you to go here during the first month because, like, you know, tutorials, but I don't think it ever forces you outside of that. I guess I've never really tried, but that very much seems like something that Atlus would do. Because if you've played... Oh, that didn't kill. If you played P5, you know that there are deadline endings to that, where if you fail to steal someone's heart before the deadline, you will get a specific game over, like, scene, usually in LeBlanc, but yeah, that seems like something Atlus would do, where they just don't force you to go to... Oh, sorry, whack the mic. Where they just don't force you to go to Tartarus. But also, I feel like they probably do that in Metaphor as well. I feel like I've seen a thumbnail for that, where, like, there are deadline endings. But I do not know. I played through Metaphor once, and haven't touched it since. That's not to say it was a bad game, but I just haven't played it since beating it. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. It's time for the next bio. This one is Garulu, and this is, I think, obviously other than party members, this is the first Persona that I've covered who was not in P5. Because what I did when I was writing these, I just took the background information and copy and pasted it, but for the stats, I had to type those out again because their levels and skills and everything are different from what they are in P5. Do I Zio here? Sure. Anyway, Garulu. This is a giant carnivorous eagle from Sri Lankan Buddhism, and is kind of a demonization of Garuda, who we will cover later. So Sri Lankan Buddhism and Hinduism are kind of, they don't get along too well, which is kind of how this thing apparently came to be. In-game, you've got good stats, but not great skills. You do get Auto Sukukaja, and you get Growth 1. I think the growth skills are fine. They're good if you're trying to farm the heart items, whatever they're called. But usually, you don't need them too much. You get 2 weaknesses. Why are there so many enemies here? You get 2 weaknesses, which I've mentioned is not great, so I'd recommend fusing into it, just so you can get some more offensive skills. So that is my recommendation on Garulu. Next up is Jack-o'-lantern. I love this little guy. I think he's so cute. Sometimes he's called Pyro Jack, but he's a Jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lanterns come from the Irish folklore of Stingy Jack. So this is the spirit of a man who wandered around as a turnip-headed or pumpkin-headed soul. He's also associated with Will of the Wisp, and that's kind of how he came to be known as Jack-o'-lantern, which is like Jack of the Lantern and the light, and a Jack-o'-lantern is supposed to be like a soul or a lantern or whatever, so that's Jack-o'-lantern. In-game, it's a fire persona. Like, you get Agi, Leo, and Miragi, and you've got a good magic stat, and that's Jack-o'-lantern. he serves his purpose. He is usually an early game persona. I don't think he's ever been one of the later ones, but it is what it is. He's cute. He's a fun little dude. Next up is Fortuna. So you've probably heard of Fortuna, and you can probably guess what she's related to based off her name. Fortuna is the Roman goddess. Roman? Yes, Roman goddess of, you guessed it, luck. Eventually merged with the Egyptian goddess Isis. She's also the daughter of Jupiter and Venus. Did I miss? Are these different enemies? No. Daughter of Jupiter and Venus, and somehow stayed around with when Christianity kind of spread throughout Europe. Just kind of hung around, I guess. I did not mean to do that. It's fine. In game, this is a support persona. You do get wind boost, and you have high magic, so fuse some offensive skills into it. Yeah. And like Junpei said, that is a wrap, and I'm trying to find my way through this maze of a tower. So, if for whatever reason you haven't looked it up, we've got a lot of Tartarus floors, and I like that the blocks have their own theme to them. Like, obviously the first one was very green, and this one is very purple. But there's not a ton of unique mechanics with each block. Yes, physical skills. I know what crits are.
We don't see that kind of chest. Let's not pass.
Tartarus is not good. You know, I'm not gonna mince words. Tartarus is. I like it a lot better in Reload than I did in Portable. However, it is too monotonous. There is not enough gameplay variation throughout the entire game. Like, we'll get a few more mechanics that get thrown at us throughout the course of us exploring this behemoth of a tower. But what you see right now, with kind of us running through hallways, breaking these little statue things, that's the bulk of Tartarus for the whole game. And that's really unfortunate. When they announced this, I was hoping for them to make some big changes to Tartarus, and they did. They added some stuff that made it a lot better. And obviously, just like the general gameplay feel of Reload compared to Portable is way different. Like, it feels better to control Makoto, like, no question. But it's just so monotonous. It's so tedious. And I got a crit there for some reason. And it's just, it gets to be a slog really early. Like, I remember when I was playing through Portable, and I was like, I wonder how many floors Tartarus has, and I don't know, I guess if you don't want to be spoiled, cover your ears for the next 10 seconds.
Nicely done.
It's like 250. Okay, you should be good on spoilers, I guess. There's just way, way, way too many floors in Tartarus. Like, it's just...
I'm not pulling any punches.
I am kind of shocked, so this game came out in the mid-2000s, and I'm shocked that you look at a game like Persona 3 compared to something like Twilight Princess, and obviously very different studios, very different amounts of like funding and stuff, but it's kind of sad to see the difference in quality between the dungeons in this game versus like Zelda games, or even like again, very, very, very different game, but like Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2, which came out like early 2000s. You know, that game has a super interesting and creative world and all of these different hidden puzzles and things that you can see throughout the world, and Persona 3 Tartarus doesn't have any of that, which is just so unfortunate, because there's so many good aspects of, like, the combat system. Even in past versions where you didn't have, like, shift and some other mechanics that we have coming up, and it's just, it sucks, because there's so many things about Portable that, and 3 and Reload and whatever you want to call it. There's so many things about this game that I want to love, but there's a lot of things weighing it down. And it does feel like Atlus has kind of progressively figured out how to avoid those anchors, kind of unintentional ones, from a game design standpoint. Like, you can see parts of it where they started to kind of figure things out, especially the dungeons in Persona 4. Like, they kind of got a feel for theming and better level design that's not just a bunch of rooms, I guess. And then with 5, like the palaces in 5, I have raved about them for years now. I think that the palaces in 5 are really exceptional, and I just wish that they could have added some of that, how do I say this, that quality of game design to this game, because there are some things about it that I do think are really great. Like, I think that 3 has the best long-term character development in the series, whereas like 4 and 5, the characters are more, it's more like episodic, the character arcs. You know, like you get their dungeon or whatever, and then like you're kind of done with them, with the exception of like the social link and everything. Obviously there are exceptions here or there, but for the most part the characters go through a lot of growth within that 5-hour arc that you have with them, or whatever it is, and then that's kind of who they are for the rest of the game. Whereas, and we'll see this more moving forward, with 3, it's like they stay consistent throughout the whole game, which is really awesome, and that's one of the reasons why people like Seize as a group so much, as opposed to like the investigation team or the Phantom Thieves. But I do have a teleporter here. I'm guessing I probably have a boss fight coming up, so I'm going to save. It is a new moon. I don't think, so there are some skills that do more damage if you are, the closer you are to a full moon, and there are some skills that deal more damage the closer you are to a new moon. I don't think I have any of those yet. Oh god, we've got the thing. I don't even know what those things are called. Not the tables, the other one. No teleporter. That's fine. I think I'm prepared. I think I've got enough SP to last me through this fight. I guess it doesn't really matter, because like I can always just retry the fight immediately. Move out, squad. Keep your eyes on me. Hey, I'm the leader here, Junpei. Okay. I think I lead with a Mazio here. And I think the little magic dude... Okay. That kind of disrupted my plans a little bit. I think it's either a fire or an ice persona. I don't know which, but these guys have fire, so I'm assuming they're weak to ice. I guess that's the good thing, is sometimes you can kind of piece together the enemy's weaknesses in 3, but most of the time it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a crapshoot. There are some ones that I do always remember. Like, I know the totems, we just saw one recently in this block. The totems are almost always weak to electric. I don't know if they are always weak to electric, but please don't kill me. It feels like they're, at least whenever I play, it feels like they're almost always weak to them. But other than that, it's kind of hard for tables and hands and stuff to stick out in terms of elemental affinities. I think I'm okay here still. Crit! Fish for crit! Crit! No, that's okay. I am still in good shape here. I think I can actually do my bios here while not getting myself killed. My next bio, this is Rakshasa. So this is a Hindu and Buddhist cannibalistic demon. I feel like we're talking about cannibals a lot. Or I guess carnivorous, if you want to call it that. You've got differing accounts of where they came from exactly.
Does anyone have an antidote?
However, they are known for disturbing religious rituals and sites, and they're also shapeshifters who are very, very, very skilled in magic. In-game, Rakshasa is a strong physical attacker. You get a bunch of good slash skills. You get Regenerate 1, which recovers 2% of your HP after each turn in battle. Luck stat is a little low, which sucks because of, it sucks because of you don't get as many crits, and you do get 2 weaknesses, but this is one where I can at least see you making it work, right? Next one that I have is Hisaka. This is a Hindu demon that eats human flesh. What is it? Okay, we're in weird human eating territory right now with personas. Considered to be on the same level as Rakshasa, they tend to haunt cremation grounds, again, kind of with that religious sites and stuff. And they can take different forms and even become invisible, and I will speed through this. Can possess people and cause insanity. Offerings are made to keep them away. Oof, you've got 3 weaknesses in-game, which really sucks. Would not recommend because of that. You do get a lot of dark, damaging, and insta-kill skills, but like three weaknesses is really way too much. Anyway, Akihiko says, that went well enough. We still got a ways to go, though. Don't slack off on the cooldown once we're back at the dorm, folks. Makes a world of difference in recovery speed. Shoot, the other day I was so zonked I just passed out and my box was on top of my bed. That sounds like you, Junpei. Surprised you didn't catch a cold. Well, getting told by a seasoned vet like Senpai actually has some weight to it. Seasoned vet, huh? That reminds me of a story from before you all came to the dorm. Certain person who, after an intense workout in his room, passed out from exhaustion, drenched in sweat, and then woke up with a raging fever. That was just... Yeah, I passed out while still wearing my socks. That's enough gabbing anyway. Let's keep moving, Yuki. Well, I do like these little post-battle conversations. They do add lots of little character to the different members of C's, and I do need to use some SP recovery items. Fortunately, I feel like I have a lot. Oh, that luxury chocolate is actually coming in good use. Oh, I forgot about this. This is one of the vending machine items. That might last us the rest of the trip. I think the next border floor is level 42. Oh.
Careful. The enemy's nearby.
Is there a teleporter?
Don't tell me.
Okay, border floor 7 floors up from here. Suppose that means this is a border guard in a manner of speaking. We've got our work cut out for us. I'm counting on you. Okay, there's no teleporter. 7 floors. That would be 43? Do you count this floor? I guess we'll find out. But I'm at least close. Oh, I need to heal. Ooh, that could have been bad. Yukari. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, I do want to get through these bios so I can get to some of the questions people asked. Next one is Oberon. This is the king of the fairies from Midsummer Night's Dream, and sometimes said to be benevolent. Sometimes you see him being more malicious. Can be friendly to people, but also not super in control of his emotions. In game, good Zio attacker. You get Zyonga, you get Mazio, you get Zan-A, which is what I have talked about with the dealing more damage during a full moon, so that's helpful for those full moon boss fights. Solid choice. I always like using Oberon. It just feels like a solid option, which I know sounds odd. Like it just feels good, but I don't know. I've always liked using Oberon. Next up is Principality. This is the third sphere of angels in Christianity, said to give blessings to the material world. And they mostly oversee people, and their leader is Erebiel, I think that's how you say it, and said to inspire people in many things, including art and science. In game, it's an angel. You get light damaging and insta kill skills, which is just so run of the mill at this point. You get Recarm, which I've talked about. It's fine. It's another one of the angels that you see all the time. Nothing super special about this one, though. Next up is Naga. So this is a race of half-human, half-serpent beings from various Indian religions. They're enemies of Garuda, who, like I said, we will get to later. They are gods of harvest, fertility, and reincarnation. They are immortal and also extremely venomous because snack. In-game, it's a status persona. I mean, you get Invigorate 1, which restores 3 SP each turn, but that's really the only thing it's got going for it. What's up with these back-to-back fights? Yeah, this is a first. It's like, come on, pacing, anyone? I can't get a read on the pattern for these floors. There's simply too much about which we're still in the dark. We need to prepare even more thoroughly and retreat promptly when we're depleted. We're really pushing the pace on your first day back. You holding up all right, Sonata-senpai? Yeah, pretty creepy place, huh? I'm actually trembling right now. But I can't wait for the next fight. You're smirking? What are you, like the main character in a fighting manga? Good grief, you just don't change, do you? Well, I'm the leader. Be sure to stay vigilant. Yes, ma'am. I'm the leader, so I should stay vigilant. We do have a teleporter here. And we have a couple of Twilight Fragment chests. Are these going to be anything good? That's 3, so there's Juzumaru. So let's give that to Junpei. Is this a big one? It's about the same as the last one. And this one gives us, drumroll please, the Balm of Life. That is always going to be helpful. And I think I actually am going to use this teleporter to head back to the first floor and save, because why not? Alright, last bio. This is Neko Shogun. So Neko Shogun is... There's a Chinese general named Mao Shangshu. Shangshu? I think it's Shangshu. I sound like a fucking idiot right now. They built a temple to worship him. It's just that Mao is very similar to the Chinese word for cat, and it ended up getting like misnamed, and it just turned into a cat general, which is how we ended up with Neko Shogun. You know what? I feel like I'm doing okay. I might as well show off one of these strong shadows. I do want to get the jump on it though. Good overall stats. You've got skills that are a little lacking, so focus on that when you fuse into it. You've got 2 blocks, light and dark, which is nice. You've got 1 resist, and pretty good affinities for right now. So, yeah, Neko Shogun, good choice. Can I just attack here? No, don't get that. Okay, that's fine. So that's the last bio. So like I said earlier, I do have some questions from people in the Discord. So first one I've got is, did you have any inspiration that led you to making these 2 real-time Persona series? I did not. It was literally just a thought that came into my head, just like, hey, I wonder if anybody's ever done this, and I searched on Google and there wasn't really much there. Please don't kill you, Kari. There wasn't really much out there for real-time Persona stuff, so I was like, let's try this. You know, I took a leap making my first YouTube channel. I was like, why not make another? And I spent a lot of time planning and trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do for this. And yeah, I watched a lot of Chugga Conroy growing up, and that's kind of how I wanted to model these series of just trying to show everything that I possibly can. And that's how I ended up doing these. And it's been fun. It's been definitely a learning process of everything that goes right and wrong in Let's Play, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's just been a nice change of pace for me. And I don't know how long I'll keep doing these, but for now at least, I enjoy it. Next question is, do you plan on doing Persona 4 in real time after Persona 3? In the future, oh, I can't do an all attack because I'm down. In the future, we may see a remake, so I'm interested. If you're planning to do one for P4, would you wait for that or do P4G? So my current plan is to do Golden next. I have not, so whenever I do these, I do a practice run first. I have not done my practice run for Golden, but that is currently my plan. I want to do Golden next. If we do see a remake, which there are rumblings of a Persona 4 remake on the horizon, I I would say it depends on when, I guess, when we see a reveal and when we see it get released. So, I would say if it gets revealed in the next couple months. If a Persona 4 remake gets revealed in the next couple months, I will probably do a FEMC playthrough next. I have actually not done a FEMC playthrough on my own, so I think that would be fun. I would say if it gets revealed around December or so, I will still probably do Golden next. Obviously, if we get a remake, I'll probably do that as well. But that's my current plans. I don't know. Obviously, I can't tell if that will change in the future. Oh, this is something new. She's asking it might be a good idea to do some reconnaissance. One of you will split from the group to canvass the floor. That way, we'll be able to explore more efficiently. Still risky, of course, but one person should have an easier time avoiding shadows. If the scout can find the stairs, it'll lighten the load for Yuki and the main squad. So how about it? So, Yukari says that she's ready for this, so let's send her on her way. This is a scout. They will leave the party temporarily, so if we get into combat, it'll just be the 3 guys. But they will scout ahead, collect items, and also reveal the layout of the floor. So I do see... I'm going to avoid combat when I don't have her. And I'm going to grab this Twilight Fragment chest, and then I am just going to go up a floor. We've got 28 Twilight Fragments, which is more than enough right now. Get the Ice Charm, and I am going to go up a floor. Next question. What got you into the Persona series? While Yukari gives us some stuff. So... I was first introduced to the series actually in college. It was my freshman year. I was in the dorm and I was just trying to, I guess, make friends and talk to people on my floor. And there were a couple guys who, one of them loved the series, and he was doing a playthrough with his roommate of Persona 4 Golden. And they were in the first dungeon, and that was my first real exposure. I got to see the first boss, well, the boss fight in the first dungeon, if that makes sense. If you've played the game, you know what I mean. I got to see the first real boss fight of Persona 4 Golden. That was my first exposure of it. I didn't play it. I just kind of sat there and watched a little bit. It looked cool, but I was like, okay, whatever. Like, that's... Please don't kill me. That was my first exposure to it. I always wanted to try Persona 5. God damn it. I should have hit him with a light skill. God damn it. What are my options here? God. How much progress did I just lose? I don't even remember what floor I was on. Oh, God. Damn it. I hope that wasn't too much. I don't even remember what floor I was on. Was this right before the boss fight? I really hope not. Okay. Okay, so I don't think I lost too much progress. Okay. I think that was one, like, I think I got through this floor and then died on the next one. Dear God, I hope that's what happened. Anyway, like I was saying, that was my first exposure to Persona. I always wanted to try Persona 5, but I never had a PlayStation, so couldn't play it. It finally came to Switch, and I just, like, didn't pick it up for a while for whatever reason, and then the Steelbook version of it went on sale for $30, and I picked it up. I was like, oh, this will be fun. I need a game to play. And just absolutely adored it. And that's kind of what happened. I played that, and then I picked up Portable, I picked up Golden, played through Portable, played through Golden. I've done like 5 playthroughs of 5 for personal reasons, for YouTube stuff, for whatever, and that's how I ended up here. That's what started this channel, realistically. And I am not going to be weak to dark here, because that sounds like a bad time. I don't have another option. Please don't miss. So, yeah, that's how I got into Persona. Next one is, have you played any of the spin-off games? If so, do you have a favorite? I have actually not played any of the spin-off games. I would say the one I'm most interested in is Strikers, because that feels the most like a game and less like fan service type stuff. I know you've got like the arena games and dancing or whatever. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like the others are less gamey or whatever. Okay, we'll send you Kari. But I have surprisingly not played any of the spin-off games, but Strikers looks good. And it is kind of a sequel-ish to my favorite Persona game. You've also got Tactica, which seems like something that's kind of up my alley because I really love the Fire Emblem series, but I've got so many games I want to play. I can't get around to them, and it makes me sad that I'm not able to get around to all the games that I want to play. And part of that is just because this does take up a lot of my time, whether it's doing the real-time series, whether it's doing videos for my main channel and writing reviews and stuff. It takes a while. So I have not gotten around to them. Really wish I could. Maybe in the future I'll do one on this channel. Obviously it couldn't be really a real-time one. I know Strikers takes place like the summer after Persona 5, but it is what it is. So next one, who is your favorite character from Persona 3, also Persona 5, even though the series is finished? So my favorite Persona 5 character is Kasumi. She's by far my favorite, and I've mentioned that a lot when we play through Royal in real time, that I really like her. It's just a personal pick, partially because of her story, and partially she resonated with me the most out of all the characters, and I think she's cute. Persona 3, my favorite character, we have actually not encountered my favorite character yet, and I will definitely make note of it when we do eventually encounter them, and I am going to say them, so you can't guess who my favorite character is, and I will keep it a surprise for when we finally meet them. But they are really an incredible character, and I'm super excited to finally meet them. Because, yeah, this is floor 40. The number probably doesn't mean much, but this is a veritable accomplishment. Keep up the good work. Yes, so they are a party member, I will say that. So we do get to see a lot of them. However, they have not joined the party yet. I will say the current party members are great. Next question. It is, what does it say? What do you think about Persona 3 Reload being the current game that gets the most new players into the Persona series? Although Metaphor and P5, I'm sure, still bring in new players. I think it is never a bad thing when a game brings in new players. I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with accessibility in games. I think there is a place for them, and I think there is a place for more hardcore experiences. And I think that people who ostracize new players to a series because it's not the traditional format or whatever are being really stupid, because like you're literally bringing in people who want to play this game. Like, why is that a bad thing? I think Reload is not the best first game. I think 5 is the best, and that's not being biased because that's my favorite. I think 5 is, because of its story, its story, its dungeons. I think that is the best option for a newcomer to the series. I think it is far less punishing than, like, you just saw here, where sometimes you attack an enemy and you lose like 15 minutes worth of progress. Like, that's frustrating for new players, and I've played this series for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and it still happens to me, and it just happens in the series, and people aren't used to it. So that's my take. I think there's nothing wrong with it being your first game. Everybody starts at a different point, and I think that obviously influences our views on the series. Like, we use our first game as the baseline for how we interact with the series going forward.
Well done.
Like, you know, I mentioned earlier in the episode that P3 does an amazing job of keeping characters relevant throughout the whole story, whereas opposed to Persona 5 and Persona 4, it feels much more episodic. And the episodic format doesn't bother me, and I think that's partially because I started with Persona 5. And I think I like that. As much as I would love to have consistent character growth throughout the story, I didn't feel attached to the characters in 3 when I first met them. Like, they feel like they are kind of just plopped in there. Really awkwardly. And we'll see this more going forward, because, you know, we've met the first 5 kind of right off the bat, and it really wasn't a huge deal, but later down the line, you will see that, like, there are characters who just get plopped into seeds. Just like, oh yeah, they're here now. And that's just the end of it. So, you know, for me, like, I look for things like the style of the game, which is something I got from Persona 5. And I will say 3 and Metaphor do a great job of furthering that kind of UI design philosophy that Atlus has become known for. And don't get me wrong, the menus in Metaphor and in 3 are absolutely gorgeous. They're stunning. They're the best in like all of gaming. Like, they're so good. Personally, I just like 5's better. Maybe it's because it's just like more in your face or something, but I just like them better. But there's nothing, I mean, just like, look at this all-out attack portrait. Like, it's gorgeous. It's so stylized, it's so cool. Best in the industry, without a doubt. But I also look for, like, the super creative dungeons that you see in the palaces, and Persona 3 doesn't have that. It's just got Tartarus, which is one of the reasons why I don't like it as much. So I think there's nothing wrong. Excuse me. I think there's nothing wrong with you jumping in at any point, as long as you're happy with the game that you start with. You know, if you jumped in with Metaphor, awesome. Like, I loved Metaphor. It was a great game. I would say it's...
You're falling out of formation.
It could be. It honestly could be a good starting point for the series. I think I might just run from this. Just because you don't have like the overwhelming complexity of having a million different personas. You've just got the handful of archetypes. But we'll see. I don't know. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. And then last question here, number 6. Biggest hopes for P4 Remake and P6. So this should probably come as no surprise. I do want to see a little bit more overhaul of the... I can't shift anybody. I want to see more overhaul of the dungeons in Persona 4. That's just a personal preference. I feel like they have to, right? Because those are much more, like, thematic than Tartarus. Right? If you've played Persona 4, you know what I'm talking about. They feel much more like stylized and intentional dungeons, whereas Tartarus is just kind of like, here's this massive labyrinth that you get to explore. Go for it, buddy. You know, I would like to see those more in line with the palaces of Persona 5. Other than that, I don't think there's anything too much that needs to be changed for the Persona 4 remake. Any additions to, like, border floor, okay. Any additions to, like the style, I do think that needs to be overhauled a little bit. Not to say that Persona 4 is lacking in that department, but it's just a little outdated right now. Again, not to say that it's bad, but it could use a little bit of love, at least from a modern standpoint. But I think story-wise, Persona 4 is in good shape. I know people have talked about, like, Yosuke making, like, gay jokes throughout it. I understand why you would want that changed, but I think at the same time you can understand that that game is a product of its time. You know, it was developed in the mid-2000s. That's something I can accept. I totally understand if that's something that you don't like, but it's a product of its time, and I don't think it needs to be changed. If it were to get changed, I would not be upset about it, if that makes sense. So that's all I'll say about that. Persona 6. I have not thought about Persona 6 in the slightest. I am not gonna lie. I have no idea what it's gonna be like. I think nobody really does. I mean, we haven't heard a peep about it. At least I haven't seen anything. Realistically, I mean, Metaphor was kind of Persona 6. Like, let's be honest. It's Persona 6 and everything but name. And I think... I do think it's going to be even longer until we hear more about Persona 6. I will say, I know in the past, Atlus was kind of a little gung-ho with releasing trailers and stuff. I guess, like, before stuff was really finished. And now they're a little bit more, like, trying to stay on top of not jumping the gun too much. But I have not thought much about Persona 6. Does this thing have every affinity? Jesus.
Pull the trigger.
What would I want for Persona 6? I guess just kind of combining all of the aspects of, like, all of the best aspects from the game, you know. I know there's this, like, running gag that, oh, Persona 3 has the best story, Persona 4 has the best characters, and Persona 5 has the best gameplay. I mean, I get that, but, like, I don't think Persona 3 has the best story. Yeah, I would say if I'm just getting hit by every single weakness. Stop! I would say having the consistent character growth of 3 would be great. Having the... how do I want to phrase this? Having, like, the team dynamic be as close to 4 as it can, because I did like that the best in 4. Like, the investigation team felt like the closest group of friends. I think you'll see this a little bit later. Seize is kind of just like, and honestly, like, is this thing, can I hit this thing for poison damage? I'm gonna Google this while trying to do it, because I feel like this is one that would be weak to poison. Clairvoyant. There's this thing called Relic. Or am I just gonna have to fucking whack this thing until it dies? I'm just gonna have to whack this thing until it dies, aren't I? And then I would say, hopefully, like, the dungeon crawling. I have no SP. I goofed. I should have used more SP recovery items. Oh my god, Yukari, you're killing me. Having, like, the dungeon crawling aspects from Persona 5 would be fantastic. I don't see them ever going back to... I didn't mean to attack. Crit! Oh my god, I crit! I don't see us ever going back to kind of this style of dungeon crawling. This feels so dated, and I hope they don't go back to this. I really, really, really don't. Oh, that's awkward.
Now's the time.
I need to use an SP item. So that is actually,
Times like these call
I think that's all of the questions I have. There's no weakness. I'm on IGN's test. Are you weak? You've got to be weak to something, right? Forcing. Okay, this is not productive. I'm just gonna whack it till it dies. Hopefully. Yeah. So, if you do ever have more questions, just drop them in the Discord. If you want to drop them in the comments, I guess that works too. I can always write them down. That's kind of what I did. I put it underneath, like, all the info I have for the bios. What are you weak to?
Attacks are useless here.
I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Please don't kill me. Please. Have mercy. Shit.
A vehicle's been taken out. This is bad.
I wish I had the rewind button. This would be a good time for the rewind button from Metaphor. It's fine. It's fine. I'm alive. I'm alive-ish. Akihiko's finally alive. I think this is the last border floor, or the last guardian. I think I have one more turn. Yeah, I think this is the last gatekeeper before the border floor. That shock is good. If I can get some crits here, that would be awesome. So that I can stop dying in the middle of Tartarus. So yeah, I think the color for Persona 6 is gonna be green, I'm assuming. I feel like that would make the most sense. I haven't played 1 or 2, but we've gone through red, we've gone through yellow, we've gone through blue. That seems like the logical next one. But again, I have no idea. Only time will tell, and Atlas has been very tight-lipped about Persona 6, which is a little surprising to me. I feel like we would have heard... Oh no. Please don't kill me. Please. Have mercy!
How could this happen? Hey, hang in there.
I hate it here. Okay, well, at least you get to see me struggle this episode. I'm not lowering the difficulty. No, I am too stubborn for that. Oh, I feel like I need to change my equipment around a little bit. But it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I do know I need more SP on Yukari. I'm also not going to try to poison this thing. I figured it would be weak to it. This seems like one of those where it's got so much health, it's so spongy that we would have been able to do that by now, but I guess not for some reason. It's just got so much health. Why do you have so much health? Can I have something that doesn't have a million weaknesses? No, everything. Why have I not been fusing personas, man? You block that. I guess I have this. I guess at this point I'm just mumbling and trying to get through the last of this episode. These are always the worst when I'm just kind of trying to make it through the episode. But like, talking to yourself for like an hour and a half is kind of tricky. Also, my voice is getting dry and I'm trying to take sips of water without making gross sounds into the microphone. I am excited for the Switch 2, though. I'm glad I got a pre-order, and I got the Mario Kart bundle. I think Mario Kart World looks okay. I mean, granted, the footage that we've seen of it is like 100cc, I'm assuming, so it's not like anything super crazy. But I hope it's as good as 8 was, because I really did enjoy 8. And I feel like most people did. I don't know. We'll see. Open world Mario Kart is certainly a choice. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm just glad I don't have to pay $80 for it. And I understand why games are getting more expensive. Like everything is like double the price that it was when I was in high school, which is just depressing because like it's hard to afford much of anything now. And you know, it sucks when your favorite hobby gets more expensive and you can't do much with it. But like I understand why like game development is expensive and all that stuff. It just sucks. We were just getting used to $70 price tags. Now we gotta get used to $80 price tags. Fortunately, I don't really care about GTAs. I don't have to worry about that being probably $100 when it comes out. Shout out Rockstar. You guys are doing your thing, I guess. But for me, this is gonna sound bad. I don't mind paying $80 for a game. Like, for a quality game, I have absolutely no problem paying that. The problem is that there's gonna be a lot of low quality games releasing for that much. I'm not gonna buy those. But like something like Reload or something. I've talked about Monster Hunter Wilds a lot, or I don't know necessarily Mario Kart. I'm not that into the series, but like it's Mario Kart. Everybody likes it. Or something like a Xenoblade game or a Zelda game. I would be okay spending $80 on those. It is what it is. I mean, there's not much we can do to change it. Do I like it? No. Can I at least accept it? Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't go past that anytime soon. I'd be really sad if it went up to 90. But, like, I've gotten... Out of this game, I've gotten well over 100 hours, so, like, in terms of dollars per hour of enjoyment, I feel like I'm doing pretty well on it. That's kind of like my arbitrary measurement of how much I've gotten out of a game. Like, if I can get an hour for every dollar I spend on it, I feel like that's a pretty good investment, which is, like, pretty low compared to other forms of entertainment. Like, movies, it's like probably 20 to 30 bucks depending on concessions for 2 hours of entertainment. So, and I did actually successfully defeat that shadow, as opposed to last time. Junpei gets counter, which is nice, and Akihiko gets shock boost. But what does he have to say this time? All right, take out that gatekeeper. We'll need to. Until Kiriju Senpai, you're breaking up on us. Sorry about that. Testing 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, it's back to normal. Having any trouble on our end? Getting pretty high up. Signal must be getting spotty. What do we do if we cut off? Kiriju Senpai is sort of like our lifeline here. Recon isn't really in the wheelhouse of Mitsuru's persona. She manages well enough through supplemental equipment, but even that has its limitations. Sorry to give you cause for concern. That being said, our equipment still has a bit more range to spare, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'll try to figure out the connection issues on my end. You all go ahead and keep exploring for now. Alright, well, we have our objective. I think the next floor should be our border floor. And we get a couple of chests. We get a bead chain, and this is a 3 Twilight Fragment chest. You should have plenty through social links and all the ones we find. We get a tux. We got equipment. I think I've addressed that. They're just cosmetic things. Please don't be another boss fight. Please have mercy.
Is this?
Okay, we're all good. So this is another dead end, and we should have another old document. Number 2. Kirijo's Ergo Research Lab is setting up a facility on this island. It doesn't make any sense. Even a rank-and-file researcher like me can tell. What is it about to take place on this island? Well, there's our next old document. And let us return to the entrance. I am gonna save. And I think I will be back at a later point because I am kind of pooped right now, and it's also Sunday night and I need to go to work on Monday, so be right back. Okay, I have returned, and we do have a lot of Elizabeth requests that we need to turn in. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn in 15. This is the shadow hunting milestone. You may not have this, that's fine. Realistically, the shadow hunting milestones don't matter all that much. We've got the second document, which we found up at the top of this chunk of Tartarus. We've got fortune telling. How was the outcome of it? I see, so the predictions really did come true. Just who in the world is that fortune teller? I hope to meet them someday. So we've got Speed Incense, 3 of them. We've got the Juzumaru that we found after, I think, one of the gatekeepers. Gave to Junpei. Treasure hunting milestone. We get a Snuff Soul. And we've got 2 more things. I do need to create a persona of level 13 or higher. I'm going to go ahead and grab these. And I'm going to go ahead and head into the Velvet Room and fuse a bunch of personas. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have done a bit of fusion. I have walked back out because I want to grab some more money. I did create a persona that's level 13 or above, so I'll go ahead and grab that. It gives me a Bufula gem. And I will accept this one where I need to fuse an Oberon. And Elizabeth has prepared a special little assignment for us in which we'll have to fuse Oberon. I do believe that the best way to deepen your understanding on a topic is that with hands-on experience. It will be a tad challenging, but do give it a try. So we need an Oberon with the skill Mazio. We don't need to fuse it as long as the Oberon does have Mazio, so if you do get a skill card, you can do that. I also need a persona with the skill Koha in my possession. Do I have that?
Are you accepting a request?
I do not, so I'll have to do that as well. So I'm going to go do a little bit more... Oh, wait. Oh, thus far you have completed a number of my requests, and just as I had thought, this world is truly interesting. So much so that an urge to investigate it within myself has risen within me. Therefore, I'd like to request that you escort me to various locations. Please come to Paulownia Mall at a later date. I will give you more details then. Okay, Yes, so we do have outings with Elizabeth. This is kind of like her own social link-ish. As we complete requests, these open up. We can do these at any time, and they actually don't take any time during the day. So unlike other social links, we don't lose a time slot, so you can do these whenever you want. It's really nice. Yes, okay. So I'll get to work on some of these, and I will be back in a while.
Here are my requests.
And I'm going to go ahead and turn in request number 6, have a persona with Koha, get a Fear Sutra, and we'll keep going.
Request.
Here is quest number 17, having an Oberon with Mazio. I see that you have it. That fulfills the conditions for this request. Please take this as your reward. Female uniforms, I'm assuming W means winter. Next one is Fusion Series number 2, Chariot Mithras.
All means.
So we will work on that. Obviously not right now, we are nowhere near that level. And I'll be right back. I should probably also mention this. I went ahead and fused Fortuna. This is a group fusion. If you haven't seen this or haven't messed around in the Velvet Room, there are fusions that require more than 2 personas. So it's just under special fusion. It's the first one that we have. You need an angel, a Silky, and a unicorn. You can just pay them. Like, you can just click here and it'll automatically summon all 3. You pay for it and it'll summon the Fortuna. So if you're wondering what this special fusion thing is, it's that. Yeah.
A request.
And the last one that I'm actually going to complete today is Shadow Hunting Milestone 3, defeat 300 shadows, and I get a bead, 3 beads. We get another one, defeat 450 shadows, and because of all this fusion stuff and everything, I am very, very broke. I only have 1,400 yen, so I unfortunately need to go grind a lot of money. So I will yet again be right back. So I've just been trying to grind money right now, and this tutorial popped up, so I figured I'd at least mention it. If you are high enough level compared to the enemies on the floor, they will just run away from you, which makes running around through these lower levels searching for the golden hands kind of easy. I forgot that I don't have these floors filled out, but yeah, they will literally just run away from you, and you can walk past and break sculptures and stuff. So that's all I got. Okay, so after just an obscene amount of money grinding, I have 13 odd coins. These sell for 2,500 yen a piece. I should have more than enough. Hopefully, please, dear God, knock on wood, I have enough. You're going to want to have around 10 to 20,000 yen before selling all of your treasures tomorrow. You also want to have these personas, these Arcanas in your persona stock: Magician, Justice, Emperor, Chariot, Hermit, Temperance, Hanged, and Strength. I have also, if I go into the Velvet Room over here, I have also fused every persona up to level 17, I believe? Question mark? This has been a long, long, long episode across 2 days. This has been like 4 hours worth of stuff, or not 4 hours, 3 hours worth of stuff. But yes, every persona up to level 17. We're at 17% completion on the compendium, which is good progress. Obviously, we've still got a ways to go, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna assume that I've got enough money. I really don't see myself needing to sell more stuff, and worst case scenario, I can just sell some gear tomorrow. But as you can tell, yesterday we were about 9 hours, and today we are over 12. So this has been 3+ hours, and I am ready for this episode to be over.
Yes.
I am indeed done for the day, so let's rest up.